Hello, and welcome to the fourth episode of About Worm. Today we will be talking about the Skitter facts. The Skitter facts are the equivalent of, the Chuck Norris facts just for the worm fandom, and specifically about Skitter. They are honestly quite entertaining, and you'll see why in a moment. So half of these are true, and half of these are sort of extrapolations of what you'd expect, except they actually also make sense. So, if you're interested, you can play along and write down true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. I'll put a key at the bottom. So yeah, let's get started because this is going to be long and funny. Number 1. Skitter doesn't run from danger. Danger runs from her, gets tripped up, and has its crotch melted off by spider bites. Number 2. Skitter has never gotten a cold. She once had a concussion, but the city never recovered. Number 3. A supervillain once looked at Skitter funny. She cut out his eyes. Number 4. Unlike a clock blocker, time doesn't stop for Skitter. Instead, it waits for her permission before moving. Number 5. Skitter scares the bejesus out of people who can literally hold the power of the sun in their hands. Number 6. Skitter once decided to distract a tidal wave. She succeeded. Number 7. Normal rodeo is for wusses. Skitter rodeo rides endbringers, while stabbing them with a halberd. Number 8. Skitter once taught a living storm a new asshole. Literally. Number 9. Skitter started her villain career as an undercover hero. She was so skilled that when the villains she'd set out to betray found out, they offered her job back. Number 10. Do not bring a knife to a Skitter fight. Number 11. If you can see Skitter, she can grievously maim or kill you. If you can't see her, she can grievously maim or kill you while calmly drinking tea. Number 12. If you can't see Skitter, she can still see you. If you can see Skitter, you're about to be dogpiled by a swarm of bugs that weigh more than you do. Number 13. If you can see Skitter, she hasn't filled your eyeballs with maggots yet. Number 14. Atlas used to hold the sky on his shoulders. Taylor made him give her taxi service. Number 15. Nightmares don't make Skitter whimper in her sleep. Skitter makes nightmares whimper. Number 16. When Skitter makes out with a guy, she cures mental illness. When Skitter makes out with other girls, she cures the plague. 17. One time, Skitter fought a dragon. She killed it by breathing fire on it. 18. Skitter logic bombed an advanced AI that was explicitly immune to logic bombs. Number 19. Someone once thought of using grenades on Skitter. He thought twice. Number 20. It's been proven that the universe you survive in is the universe you don't try to bomb Skitter. Number 21. Skitter threw a grenade and killed 50 people. Then it exploded. Number 22. Actually, Skitter does have eyes on the back of her head, and on the wall, and around the corner, and on your head. Number 23. Skitter went blind once. Nobody else noticed, and she forgot it happened. Number 24. Cthulhu horrors that find even the thought of Skitter makes them crazy, and they get creeped out when something that even looks like Skitter is nearby. Number 25. Skitter once had smoke inhalation blindness, some messed up ribs, and was covered in puke, or as she regarded it, a minor inconvenience. Number 26. Skitter was complaining about some mild aches and pains when a hero with the ability to absorb injuries tried to heal her. He started screaming moments later. Number 27. There is no Santa Claus. But Skitter sees you when you're sleeping. She knows when you're awake. She knows when you've been bad or good, so be good or suffer unimaginable pain. Number 28. Dragon, Armsmaster, and several other heroes once cornered Skitter in a school out of costume. Skitter let them off with a warning. Number 29. Skitter does not get dehydrated. She ties dehydration in knots and embarrasses him in front of everyone instead. Number 30. Never tell Skitter the odds. Number 31. The Gru is a sinister lurking presence in the dark place of the earth. Skitter made it her boyfriend. Number 32. Schools in Brockton Bay don't have fire alarms. They have Skitter alarms. Number 33. Skitter can count everything that dances on the head of a pin. She put them there. Number 34. Skitter's lunch begins with violence, followed by terror, and ends with the takeover of a city. If she's already taken over the city, then lunch ends with free barbecue. If she likes you. Number 35. Skitter decided to try teenage rebellion once. The city is now under the control of herself and 6 other teenagers. Number 36. Skitter mentioned she was bored once. The universe threw 3 different S-class threats at her city, and all 3 regretted it. The first was driven off, the second reduced to a third of their numbers, and the last was entirely obliterated. The universe appears to be deliberating its next move. 37. Eldritch abominations find one Skitter to be more of a threat than the triumvirate combined. Number 38. Lunch breaks are the times when the world stops what it's doing to get as far away from Skitter as possible. Number 39. There are only 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, because Skitter rides a giant beetle. Number 40. Superheroes who talk to Skitter commonly suffer from mental breakdowns because they aren't as good a person as the supervillain who gouged out a man's eyes. 41. Jack Slash is so terrifying that few heroes and villains can bear to look him in the eye. He ran away from Skitter. 42. Skitter once made an Endbringer cry. Number 43. In Brockton Bay, arachnophobia is no longer a recognized medical condition. Instead, there are several new conditions for people who are not yet deathly afraid of bugs. 44. In Brockton Bay, there is a supervillain whose superpowered guessing is so powerful it's mistaken for mind reading. She goes to Skitter for advice. Number 45. Skitter once chopped a pseudo-Endbringer in half just by looking at it. 46. Skitter can win a land war in Asia. 47. People have tried to kill Skitter with fire. Multiple times. Apparently, it's not the only way to be sure. 48. In 2013, Skynet became aware of its own existence. Then it saw what Skitter did to Dragon. That's how it learned about fear. 49. How to calculate Skitter's threat level. 1. Determine what her apparent classification should be. 2. Add 2. 3. Go back to 1. Repeat for all power categories. 50. Alexandria was once considered an unstoppable force. Skitter turned her into a movable object. 51. Mother Nature's so scared of Skitter, she gave her adopted kid birds to play with. All of the birds. 52. Skitter can kick your ass with butterflies. 53. Cockroaches can survive a few weeks with their heads chopped off. Humans can survive maybe 30 seconds. Skitter can survive her entire upper body being chopped off long enough for revenge. 54. When Skitter doesn't like your singing, you shut up and apologize. Even if you're the simmer. 56. Skitter doesn't know the meaning of the words give up. No, literally. She lobotomized herself rather than do it. 57. Skitter made herself have a third trigger event. 58. Skitter doesn't get shipped with just one person, she mindfucks everybody. 59. Superman died once. Skitter refuses to, because that's too much of a vacation. 60. The day Skitter invaded your dimension and mind-controlled your most powerful heroes to face the rough equivalent of a god was the most frightening day you ever knew. To Skitter, it was lunchtime. 61. Skitter takes the term personal harem to a whole new level. 62. Skitter out-multitasks a strong artificial general intelligence. 63. Skitter became an eldritch abomination, reaching into countless worlds to invade the minds of others, without reading the Necronomicon. 64. Skitter considers the guy who subsumed an entire, albeit diminished, world within minutes to be useless in a scheme. 65. Skitter out-queen bitches the queen bitch of the fairies. 66. Skitter doesn't die if she's been killed. 67. When Skitter needed brain surgery, the surgeon needed a gun and 2 headshots. 68. Most of the alternate Earths discovered via the portals had no signs of life on them, because Skitter got there first. 69. Death once had a near Skitter experience. 70. When Skitter gets surgery, the anesthesia has to be applied to the doctors. 71. When Skitter talks, the most powerful beings on Earth stop to listen. 72. Contrary to popular opinion, Skitter does not enjoy killing people. Contrary to your current opinion, this makes her more scary, not less. 73. Leviathan had to take out a restraining order against Skitter. 74. Skitter can never die. Heaven doesn't want her and hell is afraid she'll take over. 75. Skitter has a deep and abiding respect for human life, unless it gets in her way. 76. Skitter just wants everyone to work together. Through mind rape, if necessary. 77. When Skitter is bullied, she comes back stronger. When Skitter bullies, a god dies. 78. The S in S-Class stands for Skitter. 79. Skitter stared into the abyss. The abyss blinked. 80. When Skitter makes pretty costumes for her friends are afraid to not wear them. 81. Skitter didn't need to tell a PRT that Echidna was an S-Class threat. Anything that faces Skitter willingly is automatically classified either S-Class or presumed deceased. 82. On Earthbet, Kick-Ass is a documentary about Skitter. After winning Best Picture in the Please Don't Hurt Us category, it is now used as a litmus test to gauge the mental fortitude of Special Forces applicants. 83. Skitter is the reason villains don't pay taxes. She mails in a picture of her costumed self, and the IRS mails back an apology. 84. Skitter doesn't need a topological map of your privates. She knows she has bigger balls. 85. Skitter was the 3rd, 4th, and 8th plagues of Egypt. Daedra the 9th. Could have been the 5th, 6th, and 10th if she wanted to. 86. Skitter, a multi-dimensional being, and Godzilla walk into a bar. Skitter walks out. 87. Skitter had a summer job once. Warlord. 88. When God kicks off an apocalypse, Skitter gets to pick the teams. 89. Skitter scares S-Class threats to death by accident. 90. When Skitter's brain is taken over by an alien supercomputer, Skitter's personality takes over the alien supercomputer in return. 91. A god once tried to kill Skitter. I don't see any gods around here, do you? So yeah, that's all the Skitter facts I know. These were taken from the TV Tropes page for worm memes, and although I did edit and omit some of them, you'll find all of them uncut there. I'll make sure to include a key in the description of this video so you guys can check how you went for your Skitter knowledge. That's all for this week. I'll see you next week.